basically, keeping it very short, if you enter into a casino to gamble, basically you pay in your cash and you are given certain coins, or in some cases they are cards. Each of these cards has numbers on them, and each number has an amount of money that it represents, right? Now, same thing here in the market, in the Forex market, or should I say, in this decentralized world where we trade currencies and we trade almost all asset classes. Now, what we use to issue an order is called lot sizes. Now, one standard lot, basically what the lots are your buying power. They determine how much money you are controlling in the market. Okay, they determine the amount of dollars you are controlling every single time you have that trade on. They also determine the amount of money you are trying to sell or the amount of money you're trying to buy. Okay, so if you have one standard lot, we have about three that are well known. When we have one, it's called a standard, one standard. And then when we have 0.1, it's called one mini, a mini lot. And then 0.01 is called a micro lot. Sorry about the typo here. We had an issue here. We should have just 0.01. Now moving on. A nano lot, in most cases, that is the one just beneath here. In most cases, you won't actually find a brokerage offering you a nano lot in here. So in most cases, you won't have this offered. So majority of the time, brokerages would only offer the first three we have in here. Okay, so you have to memorize mainly the standard lot, the mini lot, and the micro lot. Now, but the buying power, does it really have so much of an effect? Yes, it does. It actually affects your margin. Yes, when we talk about margin, you will get actually a understanding. Or should I say, let me just quickly breeze through that. Certain asset classes have a required margin. Okay, so it has an actual margin that is required to place an order on it. Okay, so there are some asset classes that requires you to have at least $10,000 before you can place an order on it. So that means that if you have just $100 on your account, you can't actually trade those assets. Okay, so that is where your leverage comes in. When a brokerage gives you leverage, it automatically boosts your money so that you can now access these margins. You can now have that margin, and that way you'll be able to open these lot sizes. Okay, now I know right now you are quite confused, but please just leave that for now. By the time we discuss leverage and then finally discuss margin, you should be able to fully understand that. So let's actually go on and discuss more about a lot size. What does lot sizes represent? I want to keep this very simple. So therefore, a lot size for me, let me turn off this. So a lot size basically has a peep value. I had to just go pull this from babypeeps.com, and it's a good website if you actually still want to study up on Forex basics. Mind you, that website can offer you knowledge only on the basics. Don't go confusing yourself. Why? Because the platform is owned by a very big bank, and they are certainly your enemies in the market. So trusting them is killing yourself. Now moving on. Now a lot size, one standard lot on a general pair like Euro USD controls about $10 per peep. So every single peep movement costs you about $10. And then on a mini lot, it will take out $1 per peep. Same way on the micro lot, it will be about 10 cents per peep, and on another lot we have 1 cent per peep. Okay, but in the case of JPY pairs, we have certain pairs that cost us about $80, but in the current actual market, we have these pairs charging us in around $70 currently. So when we have a trade that is at a standard lot, you should probably have just $7 here. So this is an error on their end. You should have about $7 here, and in the case of a mini lot, it should be about 70 cents, and micro lot it should be about 7 cents, I think 0.07, I believe. So in here should be 0.007, should be lesser and lesser. So yeah, don't go confusing yourself that much. But one thing you need to know is, if I want to place a trade and I go place one lot as my order, I place a trade on Euro USD with one lot. If that trade moves 10 pips against me, I'm losing $100 straight up, because each pip counts as $10. Okay, it's something very simple. And then if I'm putting a mini lot which is 0.1, each single pip movement would cost me about $1 per pip. So if that trade moves 20 pips against me, I'm losing 20 pips instantly. Okay, so let's quickly see if we can do a quick maths on that. So a quick one. So here we have this was one of, I think we used this earlier on. So I have this pair. I'm going to try to simplify this equation just so that we don't have to stay here for a very long time. So I'm still going to make this 76.45 and make this 75 point. Okay, so in this case here, say I place a trade with one lot. So say I'm risking one lot. Okay, and currently this is my entry 176.453, and I'm risking, first we have to calculate the amount of pips that we are actually losing, and if you check that, it's about 10 pips, right? It's about 10 pips. I think there's an error here, so get rid of that. This should have been 5. Okay, so this is a sell, so automatically this is 10 pips. 55 minus 45 is about 10. So now what we have to do in order to find out how much we're losing is we have 10 pips, right? 10 pips. It should be 10 multiplied by the lot size. One standard lot is $10 per pip, so it's going to be times $10. Okay, which we already know will give us in and around $100 loss. And following that, for the take profits, we have 175.865. Now getting down, this should be about 55 pips, and then to this guy we have about another 20 or 19 pips, so that's about 70 pips. Yeah, 70 pips. So for the take profit, we have 70 pips for the profit, so it's going to be 70 times 10, and you will notice that we'll be making around $700 on this trade. So now, first off, the one thing most people would notice in this case is though, so that means if I'm trading with just one lot, I should be making a whole lot of money. Yes, it is, but then again, understand that there is a lot that goes into trading. It's not just about how much you are going to make and how much you're going to lose. It's also about your account balance and how much loss you can handle mentally. In some cases, I see traders that are actually slapping in one lot 10 times on their trade when mentally they can't actually handle one lot. So the moment they lose that 10 lot trade, it actually destroys them emotionally. They find themselves very far detached from trades. They begin to suffer from emotional paralysis and suffer from other signs of fear and ecstasy. So it's very important that if you are starting out, I would advise, please don't go slapping huge lot sizes. Money management is key, but then again, emotional management is another thing on Forex. If you can't manage your emotions, you end up destroying yourself in this space. Okay, so now we've discussed lot sizes, and I believe this is very easy if you actually take your time to practice. So quick one, I want you to go do one or two examples, get used to how to do this, get used to doing this by yourself, and give me feedbacks if you are confused in any way. I'm always open to help. Now we're moving on to the next video, and see you on the next one.